Super Bowl, are you thinking about abandoning your Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl take?
Really?
Oh, thank you.
I know there's a lot about take integrity in those bylaws.
Yeah. I mean, I'm allowed to.
Really?
How are you?
Starting quarterback injured. Everybody knows that.
That is true.
I'm just letting you know. I don't know. I don't. No.
We'll see if you are right.
Thank you.
If he's out for the
Thank
season.
you, Brew. Or if he's out for a month.
Okay.
Or plays and is severely hampered like we saw it happen in Cleveland.
100%.
I mean, it was based off my belief in Baker. And now everybody's taking shots because you guys have been just waiting. Coach lives in Cleveland. Didn't like the fact that Baker was getting some local car dealership commercials. Coach thought should have gone his way. Has been trying to.
I'm still bitter about it.
Trying to get out of since
Can't get a good card.
Brew somehow invested in Kyle Trask's stock years ago and has been trying to go after him. And so now you guys, just because the team that was 6-2, that Danny said and you co-signed could fall to 6-5, is falling to 6-5. You guys are attacking him now. It feels mean, Brew. I'm just going to tell you right now, it feels mean. The Bucs are in a rough spot. If Baker's healthy, I'm sure they'll be fine. And my faith would never waver, Brew.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know you think they're a cute little team.
They've been proven to just be cute. And if they weren't in the NFC South, they wouldn't even be cute. They wouldn't even be cute if they were in another division. They're in the worst division in football. And that's why they're going to make the playoffs, assuming Baker's healthy.
They might not.
I don't love the fact that Nick abandons quarterbacks so quickly.
He ain't even hurt yet.
He's always like the Rams. He's always
he
like
dropped you like a bad
Baker.
Yeah.
I mean,
No question.
the love only lasts for so long with Nick.
Yeah.
And then
He's got a
suddenly-
wandering eye.
What is true is this. Can we show Matt Stafford's numbers? Because, sorry, KW, he might have.
All right. So the focus is shifting to the Rams, but I feel the need to discuss the Buccaneers. The situation in Tampa Bay appears genuinely dire if Baker Mayfield is unable to suit up at quarterback. Honestly, even with Baker under center, some of the enchantment they discovered earlier in the season seemed to be fading. This particular contest, however, was non-competitive from the opening whistle. It felt like the outcome was determined in an instant. One of the interceptions was clearly not attributable to Baker, a play where the ball was juggled, ripped away, and subsequently returned for a defensive touchdown. After that pivotal moment, there was simply no path forward for them. The team looked completely incapable of mounting any semblance of a comeback. I must emphasize, even before Baker's exit, I was observing the action and internally pleading for a competitive game. I was actively rooting for it, hoping to witness a compelling football contest, a genuine gridiron battle. When you see a bizarre, fluky turnover like that occur, your reaction is one of sheer frustration. You think, come on, that's just unlucky. Those are essentially gifted points. They did manage a touchdown subsequently, and I recall Baker delivering an excellent throw for that score, which made me think, okay, there's a spark of life here. He was utilizing his mobility, converting a few key downs with his legs, but the mountain they had to climb just felt excessively steep. Conversely, the Rams' offensive unit operated with utter impunity. They executed their game plan with whatever they desired. For Matthew Stafford, it resembled a scrimmage against a practice squad. The entire operation was fluid and effortless. It was a simple, straightforward, almost casual display of football. It didn't feel like a high-stakes professional game. It was more akin to a relaxed Thanksgiving Day toss around in the backyard. There was no intense struggle, just a series of easy completions, as if the receivers were simply saying, "Hey Matt, my turn next," and he was obliging. It was just that simple. This pervasive lack of resistance is undoubtedly why the broadcast team persistently fixated on Todd Bowles, repeatedly zooming in on his expression until you found yourself thinking, all right, I am familiar with his facial features by now. We can cease the close-ups. I was utterly perplexed by the production truck's obsession with that particular shot. It was as if there was a directive. We require more footage of the coach's face. We need to see his reaction. Keep the camera on him. My reaction was simply, okay, my goodness, what is the purpose of this? Now, onto a slightly more optimistic note. The last instance it felt like the Buccaneers were completely finished, written off amidst a cascade of injuries, I came on this platform and expressed my solidarity. I told the fans, I genuinely empathize with your frustration. I acknowledge their passion, their excitement for the season, and how profoundly disappointing it feels when that hope is jeopardized. It's the most disheartening aspect of sports, the impact of injuries and unforeseen circumstances. It's just a major letdown. What can you do? The feeling is profoundly aggravating. That exact sentiment has resurfaced now. Yet, recall what transpired last season. They persevered, remained in the hunt, clinched their division, and secured a playoff berth. They possessed a legitimate opportunity to make some noise, and while they ultimately fell in the first round, they hosted a playoff game and took the Commanders down to the wire. It still amounted to a meaningful accomplishment. Presently, the atmosphere feels similarly grim. There is a legitimate concern that the Buccaneers could surrender their division lead and miss the postseason entirely, a scenario that becomes significantly more plausible if Baker is sidelined for a substantial period. The quarterback situation behind him is not reassuring. They lack a promising young prospect waiting in the wings or a truly seasoned, capable veteran who can step in and manage the offense effectively, a la a Joe Flacco type. While the backup may have experience, it's a different caliber. It's one thing to have a young, ascending player fighting for his future, or a former high draft pick like a M. Jones, Sam Darnold, or Daniel Jones trying to revive his career, or that bona fide veteran who can still air it out with success. The entire burden, therefore, rests squarely on Baker Mayfield's shoulders. As I am recording this, Baker is not playing, and I have no further updates on his status. If you are viewing this a day later, I am completely unaware of the outcome of the Carolina Panthers game. The entire situation is uncertain and challenging. It is genuinely tough. However, given that we experienced this identical sentiment last year, and the Buccaneers defied expectations, won the division, and reached the playoffs, perhaps history is poised to repeat itself. It's noteworthy that a prominent voice like Nick Wright is already publicly jumping off the Tampa Bay bandwagon. The velocity of change in the NFL is breathtaking. One moment you are in the MVP discussion, the next you are the top Super Bowl favorite, then the #1 seed, and suddenly you are grappling for your playoff life. It is a jarring, difficult reality. While I've had my disagreements with segments of the Buccaneers fan base, I sincerely feel their pain. I understand the agony of defeat in these circumstances. It is immensely frustrating. These are the moments that provoke existential questions about sports fandom. You ask yourself, why do I even invest my emotions in this? Why do I put myself through this emotional ringer? Why do I care so deeply? Why do I cheer? Why am I watching some random individual's commentary online? The temptation arises to abandon it all, to take up painting, learn knitting, develop a new hobby, become a car enthusiast, or simply watch ASMR or culinary videos instead. You contemplate learning to bake, ironically, given the quarterback's name. It is a profoundly tough experience. I had paused this game to attend to other obligations, intending to return for the second half to gather material for a post-game analysis. Upon resuming, I discovered that Baker was ruled out for the remainder of the contest. My immediate reaction was one of disappointment, feeling that this development was ruining any potential for a compelling finish, as I was still hopeful for a competitive game. But, as I mentioned earlier, even with a fully healthy Baker Mayfield, it did not appear that the Buccaneers possessed the capability to generate consistent offense against the Rams' defensive unit. The fluke turnover and the resulting gifted points were a critical factor. When you face a team of the Rams' caliber, such gifts are punished mercilessly. Often, that single break is all a superior team requires. Once they establish that gap, that point separation, their defense gains the liberty and flexibility to unleash their entire playbook without restraint, and the challenge becomes virtually insurmountable for the opponent. This is a difficult setback for Tampa Bay. The hope now is that Baker's health permits him to return to the field and compete at a high level. Presently, it's a waiting game to see how his situation unfolds. But these are simply my reflections. I would be absolutely delighted to hear your own. What are all of your thoughts concerning Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Is it time to dismiss their viability as legitimate Super Bowl contenders? Do you believe they can still navigate these turbulent waters, remain competitive, and ultimately win their division? Please share your perspectives in the comments section below. I read every single comment. So, whether you find yourself in agreement or in vehement opposition, let's engage in some dialogue. Let's have some spirited debates. But ultimately, let's ensure we are all enjoying the process. And please, do consider subscribing. We are in the process of cultivating a phenomenal community here, and would absolutely adore having you as a part of it. My goal is to build something to which we all feel a genuine connection, something we are genuinely thrilled to be involved with. I believe we are making significant progress toward that objective. Also, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely assists with its visibility within the platform's algorithm. Thank you so much for your time and engagement. I look forward to seeing you next time.